This year, Europe saw one of the strongest and most exciting fashion weeks yet, with crowds roaring approval at bowing designers and editors running out to shop the looks they'd just seen on the runways. Here with the top hits and misses is WSJ's fashion columnist Christina Binkley, joining us from Paris. Hi, Christina.
Hey!
So, Christina, you say you saw a bunch of wonderful shows and minimalism is finally over.
Yeah, say goodbye to your minimal looks. This is maximalism to the max. Everything is embroidered and has beading and studding and all kinds of ruffles. It's really, it's maximal in a big way, which is a big change from a few years ago, by the way. It's an entirely different look. And although I have to say, personally, I kind of like minimalism, I found this really fun and new, and I feel very enthusiastic about it all.
Yeah, no, I'm ready for a little frilly over the top. I'm kind of bored with minimalism, so bring it on. Let's go over some of your top hits, starting with Gucci.
Gucci, we are all Gucci, 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 Gucci. I have to tell the Gucci stores are full. People are shopping the fall collections, and it's clearly going to continue on. The excitement is just getting more and more. I was counting Gucci loafers, Gucci belts, full-on Gucci looks at the fashion shows. There were a lot of them at almost every fashion show I attended. That's a big hit if ever there was one for a brand.
Stunning, stunning. Now, Valentino also you loved.
Utterly gorgeous. They showed yesterday, so this is very new. The theme, interestingly enough, was Africa. There's African music and a lot of rhythmic music, and then some of the most extraordinary, we're talking about maximalism, some of the most extraordinary beading. At one point there was something I thought, well, that's a grass skirt, only it's a sleeve. There's sort of grass skirt sleeves coming off of these looks. It sounds strange, but they're utterly gorgeous.
Oh, it actually sounds strange and wonderful. Now, what about Saint Laurent? You also thought that was beautiful.
Yes, beautiful and also hilarious. This is not a collection that a lot of people in the fashion industry loved. I think it's going to go over huge with consumers. I actually really liked it a lot. Underneath what you really saw was some beautiful couture, but what you're looking at was rubber wellies. Believe me, imagine the profit margin on that. It's complete genius, absolute genius for this brand. Rubber wellies, and you know your scary uncle's camo jacket from Vietnam. The very same worn black moto leather jacket that you might have one in your closet already, but of course that one has a little black label on it that says Saint Laurent.
I love it. Now, there is also a breakout star, a designer that you say we've never heard of, but we will all know intimately.
You will, you should, and you will. I'm waiting for her to get scooped up by somebody. This is Iris van Herpen. If you look at the name, Americans would probably pronounce it Iris van Herpen. She's a Dutch designer. She is way out there in textile development. She's doing digital printing and sort of space age looking clothes. She's thinking way ahead. I actually see her as somebody who could take over for a brand like Louis Vuitton or Alexander McQueen someday.
Wow.
So those brands now have good designers in place.
Right.
It may not be quite ready, but it's coming.
A true rising star. Now, of course, we would be remiss if we didn't mention a few of the misses.
Yeah, I hate these. These always make me feel bad. Peter Dundas just joined Roberto Cavalli. I thought it was going to be a match made in heaven. Peter Dundas even sort of looks like Roberto Cavalli in the way he dresses, and he's got these big glasses that he wears, sunglasses. Unfortunately, the look just did not carry over. And Cavalli's a very sexy, slinky brand, but this was sort of clunky acid wash denim and some weird cut and tie looks. It didn't work. We'll wait for next season.
And what about Nina Ricci? You would think with her past as such a romantic brand, she'd fit right into this new frilly moment.
You absolutely would, but instead we got square and boxy and kind of heavy, clunky looks again. This is the second season of ready to wear for this designer. Nina Ricci was formerly designed by the guy who went over and is now designing Oscar de la Renta, who did a lot of very feminine, lovely, and very French looks. It's the opposite. It's something else. I'm not sure why we're getting the square, boxy look.
Maybe that won't last. And Carvin?
Carvin, again, this is the musical chairs, right? The designer Guillaume Henry, who used to design Carvin and made it into a real breakout star label for several seasons. He's the guy who moved to Nina Ricci, and it's not going so well there. So two new guys came into Carvin. Again, it's not carrying the same steam that Guillaume Henry had given it. So if we could just sort of backtrack and put Henry back at Carvin, maybe we'd have something good going.
Christina Binkley, thank you so much for all of your information about this fantastic show. I can't wait to see the clothes make it stateside.
It's going to be good for business. I can't wait to see it either.
Thanks so much for that.